Phallic knuckle. Sub-out. Training device to help your Kung Fu develop replacement theory, condition your limb, not to strike to feel good, but to condition your limb so you strike your opponent, you don't injure your hand, and you can continue on fighting. But sub-out good purpose for beginner when they learn to strike a target and develop replacement theory. When one hand moves, the other should be there. We have 3 different levels of sub-bows. One is sand, one is metal barbarian beads, and one is beans in a bag.
So what is this right now?
This is all sand, all sand. You know, wet sand at that.
So any particular order, how you gotta, sand first? Or?
Well, it goes first sand, then beans, regular beans, like pinto beans that you put in, fill the bag up with, and then we go to the little metal barbarians beads, right? And when you get advanced level and you learn iron palm in Kung Fu training from in the Kung Fu, and you strike in the metal barbarians, next thing you know, when you one day open that bag, those barbarians are flat. That comes from years of you striking. Myself, I don't hit sub-bows too much no more because I break them open all the time, always bust them open. A lot of energy there, learn how to channel energy. So get happy sometime and talk, and next thing, young students don't have nothing to train with. So majorly for beginners, learning striking sub-bow, but also could still be a part of your training in advanced level, because always conditioning your limbs is very important. Some of us in this world might not, all these guys talk this noise about fighting and ain't had a fight in 100 years, and then go down the street now to the store, get in confrontation, punch a guy one time in the rib cage, and next thing you know, can't fight anymore because their tool can't be used because not conditioned. You know what I mean? Don't train. You want to be a fighter, then you have to train. You want to be a martial artist, you got to train. I was telling Sifu Nobel, he said him and Brother Rudy, they go, professional fighters get paid. Yeah. Professional martial artists get paid through honor. You see, many of us give a lot of Kung Fu away in our beginning, but when you get older and wiser, you start realizing the importance of disciples rather than just students. Because students just come and go. Disciples live it. So very important that we have more disciples because not waste your time and appreciate what you give them. You give it to them free, then they take it like free willing. They come when they want to come. Next thing you know, they want to be disrespectful. Next thing you know, you got to knock one of them the fuck out or something. You see? So you don't want to do that. Real teacher, you're a real teacher. Real teachers don't be mad at students. Students get mad at teachers like parents, because they act children. You have grown-ups who might have the age of an adult, mind of a child. You see, still live in their childhood. When do they grow
really,
up?
Like, I can see it unless the technique of something's coming down. Okay, but your techniques, you want to learn this. Look at my wrist. See, I'm making water come out of this bag. Look, one inch. So here. Right. And when I strike, it's these 3 knuckles hitting. Call your phallic knuckles. So in real life, you feel your organs, your ribs want to go to touch something, right? That's when you know you've really been hit by internal blow, internal strike. I do a danger. From the wrist. Just as much power as like if I was back here striking. So, and if you see replacement theory, and then this hand gets accustomed to striking. So I learned to strike this target, then I take a focus pad. First I go from sand to beans in the bag to metal barbarians, beads. So then after I learn those 3 different levels of conditioning, I learned to be able to strike, and now my hands are conditioned enough that I don't have to continue on doing it. Now let some new beginner come and learn, okay? Because why? When you get on advanced level in the Chung, we learn Moi Fong Jong, Lukten Bu Quan, Bak Tem Do, 8-way slashing knives. But when we touch Moi Fong Jong, now is a new level of conditioning. And then we learn, then from striking this so long, you no longer strike the sub-bow, then we got focus pads. So then you learn to strike the focus pad that has more like a human's, like you strike it and it moves like a human's head. But it's going to come back, so you learn to develop replacement theory to that type of striking. A target that moves. This is a target that doesn't move. So this first teaches you how to hit a target. Because a lot of people do not know how to strike a target or create an opening. First thing they do in fighting, most people, most especially shorter people, they go head hunting. Right. And don't realize how close the body is, because you don't trust your skills, you don't trust your tools, and you don't train hard enough to know that there are 4 major vital points that lie on the center of gravity: center, eye pupil, esophagus, solar plex, groin. If I Phoenix Eye strike you in the groin, the solar plex, or your throat, or Bill G you, or Hammer Fist you, or Cobra strike you, or Yachi Chong Choi you, or Go Wang Zhen, it's going to be a wrap. You're not going to be doing too much more movement. You understand? Because I know precisely where I'm delivering it, and why I'm delivering, and how I'm delivering, and what type of energy will be channeled. See, there's no emotions, so you see energy ain't all over the place. Do you understand when I say that to you? Yeah. There's no emotion. The energy is not all over. The energy will be in the right perspective, in the tool that needs to deliver the energy. Not in my face, not in my ego, none of that, but on you, the opponent. You feel me? So this here helps us, so then now when I strike you, I don't hurt my hand, and when I strike you, you really know you've been struck.
Right. You don't think that's gonna be that powerful. But what it feel like to you? Right. I'm not really doing it, but I'm just like placing it there. But if I really struck you, you're gonna drop to your knees.
But Professor, well, when you come to fighting and everything, do you fight freely, or do you?
I put it this way to you: when I fight, I adapt and I adjust, and I will overcome. I don't, when you say fight freely, yes, I'm going to be free, but free with discipline and control, technique, theory, concept, system, and the martial arts behind, totally with me. So, yeah, I'll be free, but I'll have control. I won't be so free that I break rules and don't know what I'm doing. You see, because you can get too free, and that'll be your last free, you feel me? Because you have to stay on your deen, you got to stay on point. You can't lose control of your center. You got to occupy it at all times. Occupying it means you're protecting it at all times. You're not letting nothing enter or create an entry. And then once we bridge, we have a contact point to a contact point of exchange will occur. So now, I learned touch and go, my son John. See, a lot of guys say they study Wing Chun, don't even know what that means or what that's about. When you get, and when you don't humble yourself when you come to some of these Kung Fu schools, karate schools, or whatever school, you don't humble yourself, and then you wonder why all of those guys look good and we don't, or I don't look nothing like that. Well, maybe go look in the mirror and see, did you humble yourself? Because a lot of these teachers won't give you the pure Kung Fu or Jiu-Jitsu or karate or anything when you can't humble yourself and you stay with this arrogant way. You see, a lot of us Americans don't understand Mota or Moshito. Only thing they understand, punch, kick, sweep, do a few kiais and stuff, and then I go, do you know anything about Mota? First thing they say, what's that? That's sad, because not been taught. See, more than just beating you up, more than just kicking, sweeping. Just like I learned to karate, outside block, overhead block, right? Karate. Yeah, I learned Kung Fu, and I learned control, absorb, redirect, change the whole game.
And in the Wing Chun system, how does it work in the ranks?
Wait a minute, what you mean by it?
In the ranks? Is it by how much power you gain or knowledge or just physical power itself?
In Kung Fu life, how you tell? Well, one, you get on Chi Sao and play hands with someone who's a Si Hing and you see die, and all of a sudden you all over the place, can't understand, how you get there, can't understand why nothing you do, then you'll realize that individual advance, and you could tell somebody advanced Kung Fu from somebody Kung Fu not advanced, because you could just watch the way they move, watch the way they play hands, You watch your own teacher play hands with somebody from his system or one of his brothers, and you see the enjoyment come out of his face when he plays, because he can let out and know that somebody knows exactly, like, I'm not worried about you doing that. I know how to stop that, you know what I mean? And it becomes fun. But when you play hands with somebody, and when you're a Si Hing, and if I'm a real Si Hing and a real disciple, I know your Kung Fu baby, and I know how much energy to give you. Because, and if I'm a good brother, I'm not going to take advantage of you. I can hurt you easily if my Kung Fu really like that. If your Kung Fu not like that. And now don't get it twisted. You got sometimes a Si Dai surpass a Si Hing because Si Hing too lazy. You ever seen that? No? Where
Yeah.
Si Hing too lazy and all of a sudden Si Dai surpassed. Then you surpass a lot of your older brother?
Yeah.
I did too. Why I made choices. My choices wasn't to eat noodles and talk about people all day. My choices were respect what my Sifu say, play my Kung Fu, my sensei, my Shian, I do what my teachers say. So that's why I'm teaching now. See, if I didn't do what I taught, it'd be just like the rest of these cats. Well, I could have did that. You know how many times I heard that? I've been doing this shit 49 years, teaching 39. I heard a bunch of cats tell me they could have done that. Well, I used to do that with your... Yeah, I do remember seeing
How do you rank your students, though?
For me, I rank my students where, yellow, I have a belt system I designed, plus I advise Chung Jitsu rule, Kung Fu and Jiu Jitsu combined. In Kung Fu, we didn't wear belts, we just wore sash. So in Chinese Kung Fu, 10th level of me in the Wing Chun system. So what I do with my students, like they start out white belt, then they go to yellow belt, okay, they take a test for the yellow belt, then they go yellow and black, then they go to green, then they go to green and black, then they go to brown, then they go to brown and black, and then they go to black. Feel me? And then one day they earn that red belt too. You understand what I'm saying? But see, in my camp, you can really earn your degree. You got to really earn, because I know what has been given to me. There were non-traditional systems that were taught to me that were very lethal. I don't give a child a gun or weapon that don't understand what a weapon is for. Weapons kill. The martial art is art of fighting without fighting. We say self-defense, say it backwards, defend oneself. See, the thought only harms those who try to steal upon the blossom. You try to take life, you stop you. See, rank, belts are cool to me, just to hold your clothes up. But you earn your belt honestly, then you'll know the importance of not just take your obi, throw it on the ground. You know the importance of never wash your obi, hang it up properly, wash your gi, which is your body, your bloodline. You can't wash, because you kill yourself.
So do you have sparring in your classes?
Yes, we have controlled sparring, and we have in the family of Swam, we spar, we grapple, we concrete warriors, where our grappling is very advanced, very sophisticated, and it definitely comes. Our cousins, the Gracies, that my older brother Amir Abdul Mutakaber, who's one of the black belts from that jiu-jitsu family, that we created our form of grappling from our jiu-jitsu that we've learned, Sanukas, Vianas, and Kumateru. You understand? Swam is a big learning pot. You come to our family, and there's 12 elders. There's nothing that you couldn't miss to learn. And once you understand the art of fighting without fighting, there's no unstoppable technique. There's a counter to every technique. It depends on your open-mindedness. Your mind, you've been taught one way, my way's the only way, and then you go out in this world and meet some strange person that you never dreamt of. All of a sudden, you have a bad experience and can't handle it. because you've been taught your way, only way. When you've been taught to be open-minded, it's not a bad thing you experience. It's a new lesson. Because learning, winning and losing is the same thing. They say, why you say that? Because they both learning experiences.
Well, folks, this is just one here from Man on Stand Up, here with Professor Watts, backed by Popular Demand.
Peace.
Don't forget to visit the website, www.manonstandup.com. All right, peace. Keep watching.